Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Peace Luv Biz. Me, your host, Steve Higgins, the emotional support chinchilla of the group, with our resident emotional supportee,
Yeah,
Mary Roach.
that's
That's right.
yep.
Yeah, that's right. How you doing,
Let
man?
alone this company without you. Today, I'm grateful for all the things. That's where I'm at. All the things, even the bad shit. I'm grateful for.
All of the things.
Just
Well,
an abundance of gratitude.
there's not that much. I mean, it's been complicated this last few weeks because of the lack of Mac. I've got so many. So
Yeah.
before we jumped on, we were talking about the return of the Mac and how that would help
And
you.
anything that helps me
Yeah,
helps Steven maintain his sanity. So that's how that works.
Yeah. I like my sanity, but it's not always there
And that's his
depending
PC way
on
of saying,
circumstance.
depending on how
So,
Mary's day is going.
which, yeah, well, like you said, I'm way
Yeah.
too nice, but it's how it happens.
Yes.
And that is the hard truth and the reality of everything. So that was a fun episode.
I'm really
We'll see you
excited
guys
about
next week.
today's podcast. Like I'm always excited, but like I even put prep into this, and I normally just show up and
Yeah.
me. Yeah. I mean, you're still
And
handling it. I just
me
love that
handle
I
it.
took
But
10 minutes to
yeah,
research some stuff and had ideas and everything.
yeah, I appreciate it because it takes the work. You know, I like it when you come
Yeah.
to me with a topic because I'm like, okay, thank God, there's something you're excited to
Yeah.
talk about. I don't have to make it up and try and enthuse you, or you know, it's something we're excited to talk about anyway. So the episode really is about, as an entrepreneur, the hardest part of running a business isn't really the work, it's facing the truth and accepting the reality checks when they come. You know, we've had some interesting conversations this week, and ironically, you said it before, well, before it really became a true topic to us, that this is your thought for the week. So where is your head at with
this
that? And
topic came
where
in
did this topic come
from
about
me
and
reading
spring
one
into
of
you?
my self-development that I do self-care every morning and throughout the day with. It was whatever book it was, I can't remember. But it was, reality doesn't go away. Hard truths will always exist. It's just up to you if you're avoiding them or facing them. It's what is it? Fear is face everything and rise is one of the acronyms. And then there's something, whatever the other one is, which I'm sure you'll Google or something right now. But, it's either face what you've got going on or put your head in the sand. And you put your head in the sand, it gets way harder to face things. And honestly, it came from me facing my reality of, okay, I've got an ass load of stuff to do. Everybody does. So I'm not saying I'm special in that way. Everybody has stuff, but I'm like, everything's got to get done. How do I do it? And looking at the company structure and looking what we got going on, and then looking at all the intricacies with it. And I could see you burnt out. And I was like, okay, don't want to see you for 5 days. And I think we talked like maybe 3 times. Yeah.
Well, I gave it a couple of days where I was like, okay, I'm going to switch off. But then I was like, oh my God, well, how is Mary going to be coping without me? So I better check in.
We definitely, I mean, I probably should see a therapist for codependency with this, but I don't want to because I can't imagine not. But it was good. But I know you needed it. I know you needed it. You needed to check out. And I needed you to check out because you weren't able to show up the way you are if you didn't check out. And that's like some people, that's where this all started from. But you take that and apply to everything. My hard reality was Steven is burnt out and he needs time off and he needs to mentally check out. And if he doesn't, then it's not Mary and Steven the way that we are. And it's going to keep getting worse. So the hard truth was, bye, see you Tuesday. We did talk. I, had a total meltdown Sunday night. So thank you for dealing with me then. But I mean, it was necessary. Things are necessary if you want that end goal. And so kind of everything else plays into that. What is your end goal? If your end goal is to have a thriving business, then you've got to face hard realities. If you don't know what the hell you're doing, and that's a theme, and that's not directed at any one client, but if it applies to you, boo-boo, I'm talking to you. You don't know what the hell you're doing, own it. I don't want to hear I don't know what I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing, help me. Let's walk through it. Let's figure it out. Let me explain. Stop trying to do my job. And it's okay to not know. It's okay to not know. I don't know how to turn on my stove. And but anybody in my inner circle knows this. I literally cannot turn on my own stove. Also, I live in, a place that's gas, but it's not as simple as just turning the button. I own that. And if I do actually cook something, unfortunately, Pedro has to drive down a mile down the street and turn the stove on for me. And that's part of the deal. But
I thought
that,
Ori could drive
that,
the other way a
yeah.
mile and go get KFC,
But
Pizza
I
Hut,
mean,
whatever it is,
yeah,
to
it's okay to not know
save the day.
things. It's okay. Like, we're human. But and then figure out what you like to do and let's focus on that. Like we always talk about, do what you love, but letting yourself get overwhelmed and having it really comes down to, oh wait, what's the name of our DBA? It's Peace Love Biz. Not having that inner peace is going to destroy you. And I've said it twice within a month to two different businesses. If you continue the way you're continuing, your business will fold within 12 months. And in 30 years, this is the only two times I've said it. And it's people that do not have that inner peace, that aren't listening to themselves, that do not want to face the hard truth, that don't want to face reality. And it needs to get done. So that's where it all started. And you can't be afraid. You can't be afraid of doing stuff.
How do I follow that up? Yeesh. How do I follow that up, really? I mean, the hard truth for me is that I was sick. I'd been fighting through it. And like you said, I wasn't myself. Like, I'd been fighting through the sickness and my energy levels were down. And I just needed to step away,
Yeah.
regroup. And you were texting me every day saying, what have you done for yourself? And one of the days, I literally did stuff that
Yep.
wasn't for me,
And
but
so
it was
that's a for
stuff that would
yourself.
make
We'll
me
take
feel
that as a win.
better
But I
having
did. I
done
was
it.
like, good morning, not work. What did you do for yourself this morning?
Yeah.
What'd you do for yourself today? And that's the way you can show. You can have a relationship like ours. You can have that. I mean, we've been best friends for, you always correct me, so whatever, in a many years. You're my business partner. We do this whole thing together. Every meeting, every decision, we're together on this. And you had to step away. I needed you to. You needed to. You needed to regroup. You can still check in and go, work is there. This isn't about work. This is about my best friend and making sure he's okay.
My brain doesn't shut off. And you are the same way. And I know that that's a problem because even when
Oh,
you
yeah.
are not working, work is still churning away and just constantly going. So the first couple of days, I had to really just shut off completely so that I could kind of turn that off a little bit.
Well, how did it start?
Just made it worse.
Like Wednesday night, I think. I was like, you
I
got
haven't
to
thought
be
about work
gone. The
for
only
days.
thing, we have one meeting, which that was a waste. We have one meeting and I'll see you on Tuesday. I said, put on your out of office, put on your email responder, vacation responder. And then you were like, okay, done. And I emailed you and I went, no, it's not. And you were like, oh my God, here she goes. Yeah, I know. No, it was not our marketing meeting. It was
It was our
it was the
marketing
Thursday at
meeting.
1:00 meeting. You remember? Yeah. But like, I even was like, I wanted to ensure that you were out of office. I'm
Yes.
like, your
Yep,
calendar
yep,
still
yep, yep,
says
yep.
you're open. Close it out. Like, that's the culture you want. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can be difficult. Everybody knows I'm a Type A personality. Everybody knows that. So I am, just as much as people hear it and they love the part where I'm really loving. I'm always truthful. So if I love you, that's not a joke. Like I don't like people. So if I love you, that says everything. um and when it doesn't appear as loving,
Yeah.
it's because I'm giving you hard truths that you need to turn and change. And one of my hard truths, the way I was showing up for you, is turn turn off or put your auto out of office and turn on your email auto responder, vacation responder. And I was really forceful about it, but that's who I am. And it's my way of going, hey, I'm looking out for you. I don't want an accidental booking. I don't want emails coming in and thinking that, you're going to be responding to them. I don't want any excuse for you not to be resting and not to be regrouping. And you show up like that when you have a company and when you have business partners and when you have employees and you have contractors. You show up for them not just financially, not just to give the work support, but you need to nurture as well. You need to be there for them.
I agree. And a lot of the conversation around the hard truths and more of the reality checks is that the ideal I'll deal with it later mindset is probably one of the most expensive sentences in business because the stuff that you're putting off, even if it's
It's so funny you say that
time
because
to regroup,
I
like that.
I'm moving in a couple months and I'm kind of planning out my office. So I did some images that I'm framing and I did this. Do all the things you don't want to do today.
Yeah,
Listen,
I like that.
it doesn't get easier, that task. So suck it up and get it done. So if you mentally aren't ready for
Yeah,
it, that's different. Then do another task
I
you don't
like
want to
it.
get done that you know you have the time and the energy and the mental space for, but get it done. It's all got to get done at some point.
And that's the thing, like, if you don't have that person you can brainstorm or mind dump. Last night, you texted me
I
saying,
said I need, yeah,
what was your text? It was like, call me when you have time for a hypothetical or something like that. And I literally just sat there and I didn't really contribute
right.
as a conversationalist besides being a sounding board.
But I want to
But
point
that's
out
sometimes
also in
all you
this.
need.
So Steven
And
picks up
that can be in
your you
anything.
leave at like 3:55 to pick up your kids from school. And then you get home and you cook and they have dinner and then there's bath time and because he has little people. And so I text like around 7:30 and it was I know you're being family and dad and husband to, let me know when you have time to talk. Like be conscious also of the people that you work with and partner with of their life. You could be operating until midnight or 1 a.m. That doesn't mean, I mean, I usually am. I'm usually operating till like 11:30. But I mean, also be conscious
Yeah,
of that
same.
because that's important, you know? But you contributed volume. You helped me out a lot. Then you went into for the sounding board, but then you went into, well, you can't solve every problem, Mary. And then you went into that and I was like, oh yeah, that's true. And he said, this is why we do this and this is why we do that. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you got a point.
Because, and to explain that a little bit deeper, there's a lot of people that come to us at tax time and it's like, help me with my taxes.
Yeah.
There's only so much you can do retroactively to
Yeah.
help somebody's tax bill. That's not our fault. We can help you moving forward and try and put things in place and plan. But when you've had non-existent accounting, bad accounting, or you've just been trying to do it yourself, we can only do so much with the information that we've been provided with. So that's where I had to tell Mary, I was like, this is kind of what we have to charge people for when it's a case of, this is what your tax bill is this year. We couldn't help you save any more now because we weren't in place. Here's what we can do
And we
moving
still were
forward,
able to save
and here's how
$5,000.
we'll do it.
We cut
Here's
the
what
bill
we'll
in half,
charge, etc.,
you know?
etc. Because Mary does it, and quite honestly, we've probably
Oh
left a
no,
lot of money on the table
I
this year for us
definitely
because
have left a
Mary's
lot of
just done
money
what she's
because
done out of
I do my thing and
her.
we are about helping them. I mean, you'll get charged down the line fairly, but I mean, yeah, we do because we do come from a place of genuinely want to help people. And there's some meme and it's just like people that tend to help you the most are because they didn't have anybody to help them. And personally, and I'll say it for myself, I'm not going to speak for you, but I I have not had the easiest life, and I haven't had a lot of people there to help and support me. So I make sure to be there for the people that want to show up for themselves. Now, you want to show up for yourself. I'm not chasing you anymore. I'm not. That's a you decision. But the people that want to get better and want to develop and want to grow and are fully invested in what they're doing, I'm going to go above and beyond to help them out and get things done. That's just what's going to happen. And I know you're the same way.
I am, and we've said that I'm too nice, but you're too nice as well in your own way. I think it's kind of funny. We're going to be kind of jumping around a little bit with what we've got planned, but
Yeah.
when you turning awareness into action, right? You've got those people that are okay. I've realized I need the help. What kind of things can you put in place? Like regular check-ins, knowing when to ask for help. We've always said about asking for the right type of help, and I
Yeah.
think this is
So
probably a good time to talk about
to
what you sent
segue
me
into that,
with.
when we go to a restaurant, if you order a salad, they go, what type of dressing do you want? There's like 15 different options. I mean, hell, that's not even the better example is going to Starbucks. I went to Starbucks the other day and I went to Starbucks the other day, first time in over 2 years. And I got a pumpkin latte because whatever that's called, the
Yeah.
pumpkin one. Yeah, that
Oh
because
God.
I haven't had one and it's been 2 years.
Pumpkin spice latte.
And the
Yeah.
girl goes, what type of milk? And I went, just regular milk. Like, because I'm here and I'm not thinking like Starbucks in the United States. So she lists like all the milks. And I was like, oh my God, no, just regular with full of fat milk. That's what I said. And she just started laughing. She's like, oh, okay. But we don't have any problem making sure we go through and have, know which milk or it's organic or it's whatever, oats or, however the hell they make milks now. I don't know. But
Oat milk.
well, I mean, my house was soy for a long time because of AJ, but like we listen to that, but yet we go to a doctor, our accountant, our lawyer, and we don't ask questions. Why? Why don't you ask questions? And I specifically put that way for a reason to segue because we're the professionals in our field. Medical doctors are professions in the medical field. Lawyers are professionals in the legal field. They're the top tier title. Accountants, they're the top tier title in the finance and accounting or accounting and finance world. There's a reason. But we ask questions for food and we're not asking questions about our own personal growth and development and our business growth and development. So, segueing into where you're going, you're going to look at the tiers of people that you're dealing with. Who are you hiring? Look at who you're hiring. Let's start there.
And so, to begin with, you get a lot of spam, as do I, about we notice you do bookkeeping. Have you thought about becoming a fractional CFO? And it's hilarious because bookkeepers do not need an accounting degree.
Yeah.
They literally just get a QuickBooks certification and they can class themselves as bookkeepers somehow. No professional training.
Need to do that.
They come out of high school with a diploma. Don't even need that. You don't even need that. But people can just take up that certification and call themselves a bookkeeper. An accountant, they've trained, they've got the degrees, they've done a master's, all the stuff that has been done. Then you've got forensic auditors, you've got CPAs, EAs, all the different types of accountants that have studied, have the experience to go with it.
Forensic accountants, you've got a wealth of different types of accountants. Each of those once you're at an accountant level, they expect you to at least have a bachelor's degree and some experience, but then you could just be entry level, a junior accountant. That doesn't mean that that doesn't mean anything. You could be literally a junior accountant. You just graduated or, you've had your degree, but not working for a lot of years. Then I want to be really clear. This isn't about, oh, I have all these degrees and you don't. Listen, we all bleed the same color. I'm good. But I have gone to school for a long time and I'm still in school. And I've been doing this for a long time. So, the thing is that people don't realize we just listed about 7 different types of professions underneath the finance and accounting. And I do all of them. You don't find accountants like that. That's the thing.
Yep.
You don't.
Not only that, though, somebody coming out of high school that gets a bookkeeping certification has 0 qualifications and 0 experience in financial strategy and running a business, helping to run a business.
Right.
So how would they make good CFOs? They wouldn't. It's honestly, this is part of the problem with our industry. There's so many problems, like when, the transactional nature, but that's just one of them.
I mean, definitely the transactional nature, which we can go to in a second. I mean, this kind of hit home for me this morning because I was up all night dealing with something. And so in between waiting for phone calls, I was watching reels. And as I'm scrolling through reels, just to make me laugh, I get, are you a monthly bookkeeper? We can turn your monthly bookkeeping into CFO fractional. And I was like, my God, that's insulting on so many levels. And it was like, but we're of that mentality now that is like, I can be I'm going to sound old when I say it, I know it, but you can be a person on TikTok and do a reel or do whatever it is that people use. I mean, everybody wants to be like viral famous. Hey, dude, knock yourself out. Just don't tell me how I'm doing my job that I keep going to school for and learning how to do better and better and better. Because that's not part of this deal.
Yeah. There's a lack of strategic financial leadership. You covered that. The lack of understanding of ratios.
They're simpler. We share monthly reporting every month.
Okay.
I have literally heard this from like 10 people in the last 2 months. We upload monthly reports. If we're delayed, we send a mass email out to our monthly clients and we go, hey, listen, we're running behind, yada, yada, yada. We are transparent. We do not ghost. We might be delayed on sometimes, but we do not ghost. We are transparent and we respond. We pick up the phone if we're not in a meeting. We respond to the emails within 24 to 48 hours. We send send back text messages. We are communicative. If you don't know where your folder is, then you don't understand Google. And I've had about 10 people in 2 months not understand how to find a shared folder in their Google Drive. That scares me because we explain it on onboarding where we
Yeah.
share everything. So it's way before ratios. We don't know how to access monthly reports that we upload. Sorry, I didn't mean to be like, but I'm really on fire about this
That's a
topic
problem.
today. So sorry.
I'll keep going because I lost my track.
Well, she just derailed us again.
I had a track I was going down. I was like, wait, we're back here. Realistically, you could apply it to any profession though.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
anybody thinks they can do social media now. The realistic nature is how qualified are they? What experience do they have? And honestly, it's cultural and fit as well because some people won't actually mesh well. And, somebody might just be looking for that transactional, hey, I'm just looking to get my taxes done. I'm not looking for a relationship. Okay, go to H&R Block, go to CPA, go to somebody that is transactional. That's not us. We way too involved. I say way too involved. We're involved as much as we need to be. But my next point would be how is the professional supposed to know
Or just
what
have
you
the
need if you
conversation of
don't
this is
tell
where
us
I'm
that
at
you need it?
in business and where I'm at in life. And that's the thing. Listen, I don't need to know your deep, dark secrets, but tell me as it relates to business, like if you're not getting things done, why? What's happening? Because something personally is going on that's delaying that in all likelihood. So talk to me about that because we have life coaches we send people to. I'm not looking to play therapist, but we have them. We have like 10 therapists as clients. Like we'll send you a therapist, we'll send you to a life coach. We have partners that do this. We'll send you to where you need to go so that you can fix that part to then come back and be present 100% for the business because you're not 100% present and you got to be. Face your demons. That's what you got to do.
So, and a lot of that is being honest with yourself, being honest with your situation, and raising your hand. Because essentially, if you're having that reality check and it's like, okay, I don't know what to do, there's probably a lack of structure because you don't have the SOPs in place or the resources, the CRMs, the software behind what you're doing. Some people, I know that Rach loves a list. She loves just writing a list down. And, we use Asana
Mm-hmm.
and I don't use it like I've got soap in my mouth anymore because, it took a minute. But now I've got my lists and I'm like, okay, yep, let's get this
I
done.
am a
Let's get
person
that
that
done.
thrives for structure and
Structures,
projects. I like consistency. I will accept change. I do hate change. I'll accept it though.
but you hate
I'll accept
change.
it. I'll even start it, but I don't like to have to do it.
But
I just
accept it.
wish things would
Yep.
stay. Inevitably, you've got to change. I have a couple past relationships. I could go, well, that would have been nice if it worked out. But the changes, I have a great relationship now. That didn't end. This wouldn't have began. So I've got to be okay with change in reality. Right. And that goes with softwares and that goes with how we do accounting and how
Yeah.
I structure and but I am a very much, consistent day to day basis person. I wake up every day at 6:30. I do my routine. I'm very routine orientated, very taskless orientated.
Well, and
Yeah.
going back to reality isn't the enemy, it's the roadmap. Because if you're seeing, I don't have enough sales, what have you got to do? You've got to pick up your activity, you've got to pivot, and maybe you find another niche, another industry you target, different
Well,
neighborhood
and
if
look at
you're
what is
more of a
working, what's
door-to-door
not.
kind of
It's you
small
never.
business.
This is way back, but I heard this like on Oprah or something.
Mhm.
It's like you never you buy new underwear every 6 months, you change your hairstyle every 6 months. There's just certain things you do, and you and I pretty much, I would say quarterly, but I'll say safely 6 months. We overhaul, we overhaul, we overhaul, we overhaul. And it's good because we do this whole, okay, what's working, what's not. We get rid of the crap that's not working and we pivot. And that's what we do. And when you're doing that, it's so much easier. And I'm saying this from you and I, our experience. When you're not having the sales come in, and you're going, oh my God, and you're stressed out financially because you got bills coming in, but you don't have new sales, or you don't have people not paying, or you're sending stuff to collections, or all the above, and it's stressing you out, you start going, AITA. Yeah, AITA, right? So am I the asshole? You start wondering, is it me? But when you,
Yeah.
And
Am I the asshole?
you do that to yourself.
Is it me?
And just,
I'm not
well,
doing
this
my
week,
job. I'm not.
you were like, bye, bye. And I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
Is it stressful? Yes. Does it suck? Yes. But let's review, because last September to September, October, November, end of December, this is what we did. Then January, February, March, this is what we did. This is what we did. This is, so we just keep pivoting. That's what it is. When you look at it through that lens, you can go, you shift your mindset from going, am I the asshole? Am I the problem? You know, how I'm failing, to, okay, this worked. This no longer works. We've moved the needle from here to here. Let's move it again and again and again. And if you don't do that, you're going to mentally destroy your own self. And then that's when your business fails. All of it's reactive.
And a lot of it seems reactive, but you have to be. It's like if somebody's shooting a
Right.
gun at
But
you,
but
are you gonna
looking at the
stand
stuff
there or are you gonna move?
proactively,
Like,
but okay, so using that scenario,
depends if the
us looking
person.
at it quarterly and going, this works, this doesn't work. This, yesterday and today, you're working on everything that you do list, because I said something and I was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, make a list of everything you do. And I know initially you were like, it can't be that much. And then you started going through and you're like, holy crap, last night. But that's also like a shooter. Okay, I'm not saying like this is the solution. Don't get me on the gun thing, but be aware of your surroundings, right? So if you see a person, I'm not going to describe anybody,
Yeah.
tall, young, white kid in a long trench coat, maybe that looks misplaced, maybe get the hell out of there. Right? Don't stay in the line of fire. Get the hell out. I mean, by not looking at things proactively in the business and going, okay, quarterly, we need to do this. And we do it. We're being proactive. For us to just have everything fall apart would be us having to be reactive. And we don't want that.
No,
Which goes back to what you were saying.
Business is
Yeah.
business is just like life, where stuff comes at you randomly and you have to make decisions.
Tons. And that's where,
You know,
you
we've gone
said
through a
this
lot of change the
today
last
and
12
earlier
months.
and on this,
And
but I'll deal with it later, is the most expensive sentence you can ever say. It costs you the most, because I'll deal with it later means you're not planning it. Like in Asana, we have our calendar built out, all the quarters, all the deadlines, all the everything. So there's complete transparency. There is no surprises. You know, there should not. I mean, life has surprises, business has surprises, but they should not be earth shattering. I heard the best voicemail. No, I'm sorry. It wasn't the voicemail. It was the autoresponder email from an accountant that I was calling. I was calling and emailing. And her voicemail really was like, but then I read her email and she saved herself. And she said, I'm in the middle of tax, yada, 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 like we all are. And she said, if this is an emergency, you emailed me instead of calling 911. There's no emergency in accounting. And I was like, I love this woman. Love her. It was great. Because her voicemail is, I wouldn't have left that voicemail,
that's
but
awesome.
you know. But her email was amazing. Her voicemail was, if you're leaving a voicemail, this will never going to be checked ever.
You're stealing that, aren't you?
But I mean, the email autoresponder I have before. Yeah.
You're gonna
But I mean, I
steal
loved
that,
it.
aren't
She
you?
was like, you're emailing me instead of calling 911. And we say it often. There is no accounting emergency.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to the structure and the regular check-ins. So,
well, I mean, we've gone
what else
through
have we got to
everything,
really go through?
but I will say
I think
this in
we've
closing.
covered
Like you
a
can,
lot
again, another
nicely.
book I read, I'll find it one day. We should have a Mary's reading list that I read every day. But it says, if you choose to respond the easy way, you're going to have a difficult life when you're faced with something that you have to do. If you choose to take the harder road, you're going to have an easier life. So I'm all about comparisons. You don't want to cook the dinner because it's quicker to go to fast food. Get the fast food. It's going to be way harder to take the weight off. Cook the food. It's going to be way easier to maintain eating in a healthy lifestyle.
Well, and when people are putting a lot of that stuff off and things are going okay, that is essentially false
Face
evidence
everything and rise.
appearing
Yep.
real.
I knew you would.
Which was the other acronym for fear.
Yeah.
I know. It just took a minute to come to me. You know, the truth is avoidance is expensive, and having the accountability, having the coaching and the partner that you can say, hey, look, I don't know what I'm doing here.
Mm-hmm.
Help me. Like, that accountability is freeing. Like, and we are very candid. Honestly, the candor is coming from a place of caring, making sure
I mean,
that
that's,
businesses
I
are
will say
going
this, it's
concerns
my
rather than just
professional
hobbies.
obligation. I mean, I ethically and my personal ethics are with that as well. I'm always going to make sure that the business is a going concern and continue to do that as long as I can. Not sure why people get shocked that I'm very, really candid and straight and shoot from the hip. That's always confusing to me because I don't fake anything. Take that for what you will, but I don't fake anything. So, like, if you're shocked now that I'm speaking honestly, it's not that you're shocked that I'm speaking honestly. You don't like the words coming out of my mouth. That's the problem. So take the emotion out of it, take the emotion out of it, and then write down the words and read them. And does it apply? And I'll tell you, if we're talking business, it does. It does. It applies. I'll tell you that right now. So take all the emotion out of it, take my voice away from it, write down the words I said, read them a day later, after dinner, whatever. I guarantee I'm on point. So you're mad because you don't want to hear the words. You don't like the words. It has nothing to do with the fact and that I had the nerve to say it. Yeah, I'm going to call you out. I'm going to call you out when it comes to this because if I'm putting all this effort in and I say but our entire team is doing it, then you need to show up too.
And going back to not being able to find stuff,
well, I
that's
mean,
not our
yeah.
fault. Like, we've done our job. The amount of people I've spoken to is like, I don't know what you do. It's like, well,
Look us
we've told you what we do.
Peace
You
Luv
don't know
Biz
where
on
to
the
look for
top. It
stuff. We're
says
giving you the
services. You click
tools.
there and it lists everything. I mean, I don't. I hope Kayla clips that reel. I don't know what it's like. It says services.
Hang on, let me timestamp this. 40 minutes exactly. I'll tell her to go and clip that.
Yes.
We can use that as a ringtoner.
But and it's. I'm not saying it's fun to hear things you don't want to hear, but you know what? To your point, what you said, it is freedom. I've heard things that I don't want to hear personally. I've heard things I don't want to hear. Were they true? Did I need to hear them? Yep and yep, they were. And it's way easier. And for someone that keeps saying they don't like change, like I was like, okay, that's got to go.
Yeah.
And I just because you do like I think I constantly survive on having a running Excel sheet in my head. So if somebody says I don't like that you did this or said this or acted like this, and this is the consequence of that, I kind of have a running spreadsheet of well, what is the pros from me doing that? What's the cons of me doing that? What makes the most sense? And I was like, oh, done. It's not rocket science. So, I mean, be aware, be conscious of yourself, know who you are. Like, I know I can be way too much for people. I don't apologize for that, never will. But I also, read the room. I don't come out crazy, unless it's warranted. Well, yeah.
You go in
But
crazy.
once
so
it's
that's
warranted, it's warranted. You know what I mean? It's like your
half a
kid
battle.
screaming for something, and it's like, dude, you've been doing this a hot minute. Knock it off. We're done. That's over.
Yeah. Well, I think this is a good time to wrap up. And what I would say is that if you haven't had a reality check in a long time where you haven't just taken a step back and taken a bird's eye view of your business, your happiness, where you are, where you want to be, come and book a session with us. Let's sit down, talk about it.
Just get
You don't have to talk to us, just talk to somebody or even talk to yourself. Like, we can help.
Get really real.
What do you think you're failing at, even if you might not be? Like, if you, like I do all the time, just get that kind of goal set. Review your goal sheet, check your mindset, and really, now's a good time to do it. We're into the fourth quarter.
And by the way,
going into 2026.
In 2026 is when we file 2025 taxes.
But
so we're aware of how that works. Yeah.
Thank you.
I want to say one thing.
I know that some people need that clarification.
I do. We're very sarcastic.
That's not sarcasm either.
Serious. I do want to say my last thing is back. I don't know, maybe 15 years ago, there was a commercial or a meme or something that was like the wife looking at the husband and going, "Hey, does this dress make you look fat?" And the response is, "No, the fat makes you look fat." So get real with yourself. The all the pretty and all the ugly, whatever it is, but be truthful about it. Be truthful, because it doesn't work if you're not honest.
Oh my God.
It doesn't. It will bite you in
Yep.
the ass in the end. It will. It always does. Get
Well,
real with yourself.
if you guys are ready for a business diet, then go to peaceluvbiz.com, book time with us, find time for yourself,
Business
find time
lifestyle
for your
change.
business, and I think that can.
Okay, well, this was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll come up with a topic for
This
next
was a
week.
fun
Get us
one.
all riled up.
We had fun. Yeah.
Done.
Well,
Then it's
this time
whenever.
next week you'll
I
be
got
done
to
with
November
taxes,
30th when they shut the
unless
system down.
people are late, and then
Reminder, they do
then
actually shut down the system from November 30th
yeah.
until
So
mid-January so they can update everything with the new IRS tax code. So when you come to us, we can do a lot of stuff in between then and get it all prepped. But October 15th is the last day. If you're owed a refund, you're not really late because you're owed a refund. It's if you owe them money. And then they're just going to ask you for the interest payment. So again, 911 is the emergency number, not ASHOs.
oh my gosh, Kayla's gonna have so much work to do with this one. A lot of reels to clip. So until next time, guys, I think that's a good time to wrap up and have a peaceful week.
Our truths.
Enjoy your reality checks, and we will see you next time. Bye.